Well, I had no idea at all. I knew something occurred, but by the time I'd looked down, Schmeichel had done out his goals to Eric. Norman Davis, who had been given the job of escorting Eric to the dressing room, was kind of standing there with looking kind of shocked, So you know something that's happened, but not in your any way would you imagine that what transpired did. And even I was told, and other people saying it, this again, hadn't been a student of physics, I couldn't say it was possible. And then when I got home, it'd been recorded for me, and I watched it, and then I watched it, and you're just, it's the sort of thing that, that everybody gets upset at football games for very different reasons, and I suppose one time or another you felt like doing particular things, but it's never ever crossed my mind, and maybe not many others. But I mean, as I said earlier on, the psychological situation where Eric lost it, he'd taken out his own retribution against the Crystal Palace player. He got sent off for it, so he's upset about that. He'd been upset maybe previously, I don't quite remember the circumstances before the game or leading up to the game. And someone rushes down towards him, and he just, again, lost it completely and did what he did. And I mean, and when you saw it at the time, you're thinking, it could have been a lot worse for both the supporter and for Cantona, because he landed on the bar that was on top of that wall at the side of the pitch. So you're just looking and thinking, that could have been, it was terrible. It still is, if you want to watch it, whatever it is. It's an amazing event, even now, as you say, nearly 30 years. But it could have been an awful lot worse. Well, I don't know, because it did take him for a little while to come into the dressing room, because do recall that, because we were very keen to see what he was going to say, it would have been the same thing. He would have. I think the whole idea was that to protect Eric, I suppose, as much as possible, really. So we all got. Everybody got plenty of choice words, and Eric didn't, so that may well be a consideration of what was going through the manager's mind, of what the possibility and outcomes were potentially going to be, which we were all keen to find out, because it was going to have an impact on everybody. Oh, I think that, you look at, I think it was a great effort by everybody else to get to the situation where you're going to the last game of the season, where you've still got a chance of winning the title, and in the following week you've got the FA Cup final. So everybody's looking forward to all of these kind of things and excited to be in the mix. The way that things turned out, it could have been slightly different. We only needed another goal at West Ham. And the following week we lose to not a great team, but they played probably better than us, and they scored the goal that made the difference in the game. You'd have to say that because of Eric, the way he was our game changer. He was the one that made a difference. That we, I think that it's easy to say. I think that if he hadn't have created the situation and been suspended for all of those games, then maybe things would have turned out a bit differently. I like to think so. I'd like to think we'd have won more games than we perhaps drew, and we would have been in better place in the cup final. I don't blame him personally, because there was a situation there that, I'd like to know, was the manager regret not taking him off at half time, having been advised by maybe some players or even some of his staff. But these things happen. You just have to go on with and live. And I suppose in a way, we're still talking about something that happened 30 years ago. So I didn't blame him for it. Disappointed, of course, and I suppose you're disappointed as well, because you learn to understand that we were all different, even though we're part of a team. And had it been me, for example, then I wouldn't have been a Manchester United player after that. He's done something that was incredible, and we knew he was going to be punished. For me, also, the right away he goes to court and he gets a custodial sentence, and you're thinking, well, this is incredible. You know, this is like, what is okay? Technically he's assaulted somebody, but he's got, can't remember what exactly he got, but he got time. You know, so he goes into court and he disappears downstairs at the back of a police van and away to proper prison. You know, and he's in there for a couple of days before he gets out on bail. And then the appeal it gets overturned and he gets community service, an awful lot of that, and you're right, that's fine. And then the FA decides what their punishment should be, and for me it was way beyond what I expected, and way beyond what I think was reasonable. And again, I think that was because it was Eric. I think that you people have to make decisions based on how they see value in someone. I mean, I think the things are different with regards now to the major sponsorship. So I believe that major sponsors have clauses put into the contracts with big sporting organisations throughout the world that you get penalties if your players don't behave within a certain standard, because these companies have got, you know, they've got their reputation to think about. So they would have been influential in it, and I don't think there was really any influence like that. It was mainly should we support your player. We would always do that because he's your teammate anyway, even though he's done something that was incredible, and we knew he was going to be punished. Yeah, as I said, I think from as soon as he got that great shot of when he got taken to prison, and then I think being pilloried every day all the way through his suspension, and everything, all the chat about when he came back and playing and going on again that season and scoring the winning goal in the cup final and all that kind of thing, which is incredible. But I do believe that the fire died when he received all the punishment, and he'd made up his mind that well, certainly, as I said earlier, I think he fell out of love with football. And I suspect, although I don't know, that the manager persuaded him to continue and do what he did, to say, look, you know, you don't let people beat you, and that's what he did with regards to from a professional point of view. But I think that he decided then that this wasn't for him anymore, and that he was getting out of it.